shift, the stakes are high. The mag breaks it down, no need to sigh. From EU rules to global news, Reg with Meg, your trusted views.
Welcome back to Reg with Meg. Today we're taking a deep dive into a market that's on everyone's radar, Mexico. It's a massive and growing healthcare market, but one with a regulatory landscape that can be complex to navigate.
That's right. Mexico is the second largest market for medical devices in Latin America, right behind Brazil. It's a huge opportunity for manufacturers, but you can't just enter the market without a solid plan. The entire system is overseen by a single, powerful regulatory body.
And that body is COFEPRIS, which stands for the Federal Commission for the Protection Against Sanitary Risks. They're the gatekeepers for any medical device, IVD, or health product wanting to enter the Mexican market.
Exactly. And navigating medical device registration with COFEPRIS can be challenging, especially for foreign manufacturers. They have unique standards and a classification system that doesn't perfectly mirror the FDA or European systems.
Right, so you can't just assume your 510K clearance or your CE mark will automatically translate. You have to play by their specific rules.
Precisely. The classification system in Mexico, for instance, categorizes devices into 4 groups: Class 1, low risk; Class 1, Class 2, and Class 3. While the logic is similar to global standards, risk increasing with class, the specific criteria for which category a device falls into can differ.
So what's the first major hurdle for a company that wants to get their device registered?
One of the biggest structural requirements is the need for a Mexico registration holder, or MRH. A foreign manufacturer cannot directly apply to COFEPRIS. You must have a legal entity based in Mexico to act as your representative, submit the application, and legally hold the sanitary registration.
That's a critical point. Your choice of an MRH is a major strategic decision. They are legally tied to your product in the country.
It's fundamental. But here's where things have gotten better. Recent efforts have made the process more accessible. The biggest development is the creation of equivalency agreements, or what some call the fast-track process.
Equivalency. Okay, so how does that work?
If your device has already been approved by a recognized regulatory body, specifically the US FDA, Health Canada, or has a CE mark from a notified body in Europe, you can use that approval as a basis for your Mexican registration. This allows you to submit a more streamlined dossier. Instead of providing all of your raw clinical and preclinical data from scratch, you can provide the certificate of free sale and other summary documentation from the reference country. It significantly reduces the review time and complexity.
That's a huge advantage. It makes Mexico far more accessible for companies that are already established in those major markets.
It is, but it's important to note that it's not a rubber stamp. You still need to compile a full technical file in Spanish, including things like manufacturing licenses, descriptions of the device, labeling in Spanish, and appointing that local MRH. But the ability to leverage your existing approvals is a game changer.
Okay, so let's say you've successfully navigated the process. You've chosen your MRH, compiled your dossier, and COFEPRIS has granted you a sanitary registration. What's next? The product isn't magically on hospital shelves yet.
Exactly. This is where the next major phase begins: importation and distribution. Getting the registration is one thing. Physically getting your product into the country and through customs is a whole other challenge.
And this process is highly regulated. You need a deep familiarity with the documentation and permitting requirements.
The key document here, besides the sanitary registration itself, is the import permit. For nearly every shipment of medical devices, you need a specific permit from COFEPRIS. This isn't a one-time thing. It's required for each batch you want to bring in.
So it's a constant process of applying for permission to import against your existing registration.
Precisely. And when your shipment arrives at the border, Mexican Customs, in coordination with COFEPRIS, will scrutinize your paperwork. Everything has to match perfectly: the commercial invoice, the packing list, the certificate of origin, the import permit, and the registration. any small discrepancy in model numbers, descriptions, or quantities can result in the entire shipment being held.
And what about labeling? We know that's always a major point of inspection.
A critical one. All labeling, and that includes the packaging, the device label itself, and any instructions for use, must be in Spanish. It must also comply with specific Mexican official standards, known as NOMS. The NOMS dictate exactly what information must be present, like the registration number, the MRH details, and country of origin. This has to be correct before you ship, not something you try to fix at the border.
It sounds like having a really good customs broker and a licensed importer is non-negotiable.
Absolutely essential. You need partners on the ground who specialize in medical devices. They understand the tariff codes, they know the customs officials, and they can help ensure your shipment documentation is flawless.
Okay, so we've successfully registered the device and imported it. It's now cleared customs and is physically inside Mexico. But the journey isn't over. Where do the products go next?
This leads us to a crucial and often overlooked aspect of post-market compliance: warehousing. You can't just rent any storage space. COFEPRIS has very strict requirements for facilities that store medical devices.
Right. Warehouse compliance is a major component of maintaining your registration.
It is. The core principle is to ensure the devices are handled in ways that preserve their safety and efficacy. The responsibility is shared. The sanitary registration holder, the importer, and any distributors are all legally on the hook to ensure their warehouse partner is compliant.
So what does a compliant warehouse look like from COFEPRIS's perspective?
First, the warehouse must have a notice of operation filed with them. It needs defined areas for receiving, quarantine, approved products, and returns or rejected goods. Physical separation is key.
And what about environmental controls?
That's a huge focus. The facility needs documented procedures and logs for temperature and humidity control, especially for devices that require it. They need a comprehensive pest control program. They also need a robust quality management system with standard operating procedures, or P&Os, for every activity: receiving, handling, storage, picking, packing, and shipping.
Traceability. I imagine that's paramount.
Absolutely. The warehouse must have a system to track every single unit or batch from the moment it arrives to the moment it leaves. This is critical for managing inventory and absolutely essential in the event of a recall. COFEPRIS inspectors can show up unannounced, and they will want to see all of this documentation: temperature logs, SOPs, training records, and traceability records.
So this really extends the manufacturer's quality system deep into the supply chain within Mexico.
That's the perfect way to look at it. Compliance doesn't end at the border. It extends right up to the point of final delivery. And this leads logically to the final piece of the lifecycle management in Mexico: technovigilance.
Technovigilance. It's Mexico's term for post-market surveillance and vigilance reporting. So this is all about monitoring the device once it's actually in use with patients.
Correct. It is a mandatory requirement to maintain your sanitary registration. You have a continuous legal obligation to monitor your device's safety and performance in the Mexican market.
How is this managed from a structural standpoint? Does the MRH handle this as well?
Yes, the Mexico registration holder is required to establish and maintain a dedicated technovigilance unit within their organization. This unit needs a designated responsible person who is qualified to oversee these activities and act as the direct point of contact with COFEPRIS on all safety matters.
Okay, and what are their core duties? What kind of events need to be reported?
Their main job is to collect, investigate, and report adverse events that occur in Mexico. The regulation focuses on serious incidents, any event that led to or could have led to the death or serious deterioration in the state of health of a patient, user, or other person.
Right, and are the reporting timelines strict?
Very. Serious adverse events must be reported to COFEPRIS quickly, following a defined timeline depending on the severity. But the system is more than just reactive, it's also proactive. The technovigilance unit must also submit periodic safety reports to Mexico's regulatory body, even if no adverse events have occurred.
That's interesting. So you have to prove you're actively monitoring the device's safety, not just waiting for something to go wrong.
That's the entire philosophy. The goal is to build a complete safety profile of the device in the real world. This continuous data stream allows the manufacturer and COFEPRIS to spot potential trends or issues early and take necessary actions like a field safety corrective action or a recall. It's a closed-loop system ensuring patient safety throughout the device's lifecycle.
So, to wrap it all up, successfully launching and maintaining a medical device in Mexico is a comprehensive four-part journey.
It really is. It begins with a strong registration strategy, understanding Mexico's regulatory body's unique requirements, and leveraging equivalency pathways if you can.
Then, you must master the details of importation and distribution, ensuring every piece of paperwork is perfect to clear customs smoothly.
After that, you have to guarantee that your device is stored in a fully compliant warehouse that protects its integrity with full traceability.
And finally, you must implement a robust technovigilance program to proactively monitor your device's safety for its entire life on the market.
It's a demanding system, but one that is logical and manageable if you have the right local expertise and a commitment to compliance at every step.
Absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in to our deep dive on medical device registration and compliance in Mexico.
As always, we hope this helps you on your regulatory journey.
Until next time, stay informed and stay compliant. Bye, guys.